Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back. This is the third episode, I think, of Bedlam's Second Take. And for today's episode, I am going to be giving you my thoughts and opinions on the Smith & Wesson M&P Shield. It's a 9mm pistol. This is obviously it's safety check. There's no magazine. Just to give you all a little personal stats on this particular pistol. I bought this off of Bud's Gun Shop let's see, I want to say it was February of 2019. And I've had roughly about, I'm going to say 350 rounds through it, so not a lot of rounds through it, but I have a little bit of range time with this thing. And like I said, it's a 9mm. I paid about $280 for this gun, plus the FFL transfer fee. After everything's said and done, you're probably looking at about $300, which is a very good price for this gun. Like I said, this is a 9mm, and it is a single stack. It holds 7+1 if you use a flush mag, and it does come with a extended mag where it allows you 8+1. So what do I like about it? Okay, well, for one thing, I enjoy the trigger. It is a very smooth trigger pull. There's not a lot of resistance once you hit that wall, and then you get that nice solid click. But yeah, the trigger is very good. I've heard people talk bad about the trigger. I personally like it a lot. The next thing I like about this particular gun is the price. It was an extremely affordable gun. Like I said, after all is said and done, I paid around $300 for it, and it's a reliable gun. I mean, it feels good in the hand. It's just a really, I mean, as polymer guns go, I mean, it's a very nice carry gun. Another thing I like about this gun is really the way it looks. I think it's a pretty sleek looking gun. Like, I mean, you can be the judge for yourself. I mean, but I personally enjoy the way this gun looks. And secondly, I really love these backslide serrations. I mean, they're very aggressive. So when you go to rack the slide, you can really get a good grip on them. So these slide serrations are some of the best I think I've seen on a carry gun, or at least in my opinion. I mean, other slide serrations work just fine, but these are really good ones, and I think that's not really touched on enough in some of the reviews I've seen. I really enjoy the sight picture. I don't know if I can show that. I don't know. I mean, it's got the traditional 3-dot sights. And the sights are steel sights, so I mean they're nice quality sights, and you can get a pretty good sight alignment and sight picture, with this gun. So all in all, it's a solid gun. I enjoy, like most polymer guns, I enjoy how easy this gun is to take down. To take it down, like you lock back the slide, you got a little takedown lever right here. The one thing that is different than a Glock, there's a little lever on the inside you have to flip down, and then you release the slide, and the slide will come right off. But all in all, not a difficult gun to take down. Just a couple more steps than what I'm used to. But yeah, all in all, there's a lot to like about this gun. So obviously, no gun is perfect, and this one is no exception to that. So I'm gonna talk about a little bit of stuff I don't like about this gun. I mean, let's talk about the size for a second, because with a lot of carry guns, the size, the thing is, the size I like and I don't like, similar to my previous video. So I love the size. It's very thin. It's got a very thin profile. You can conceal it very easily. But the difference is from this and my Glock 27 is the hand grip is just a hair longer. So if you're carrying it like the 4 o'clock position, this can print just a little bit easier than something like a Glock 27 or 26 or even a 43. But like I said, the size, there's pros and cons to the size. And like I said, it's a single stack, so you can slip it. When you conceal it, you practically forget it's there. It's that good. Like there's no getting used to the size once you conceal it. So like I said, the size is a bit of a double-edged sword. It can print a little bit, depending on how you carry, a little bit more than Glock 27 or a SIG P365 because of the hand grip. But overall, the size is it's a nice conceal size. But just to understand, if you're carrying it in certain positions, it can print a little bit more than other pistols. Next thing I don't really care a whole lot for is possibly the grip texture, and I realize that I can get Talon grips or have it stippled or something. I get that, but right now it's just running out of the box, so like I'm just giving my thoughts and opinions of a stock version, and this is, it's not a bad texture, but coming from like comparing it to like a Glock Generation 4 or a P365, their grip textures are much more aggressive, and like I said, I can still get a firm grip. It's not dancing around in my hands, but by comparison, it's something that I don't enjoy quite as much as my other guns. And on the similar note to the grip, there is one modification I did to this gun, which you probably won't be able to tell, but where the polymer comes together. Now I don't know if it's just on my model. There's a little seam right where the hand grip was molded together, and when I first picked it up, I didn't notice anything about it. And after I fed several magazines through, like, I didn't really think anything of it. But after let's say 60, 70 rounds, I noticed that it started to sort of tear up the webbing in my hand. So I was like, man, I didn't know it was that rough. So all I did was I took some like really fine grit sandpaper and kind of smoothed that out. And after that, it was fine. But like I said, that was one negative I did find out about this gun. And that could be just this particular model. Like if you have one, it might not have ever done that. I have a friend who has one, and he's never said anything that has torn up the webbing of his hand. But yeah, let me know if yours has the same thing, has the same problem. I don't know if it's just this model. Either way, I smoothed it out and it's fine. Going back to the breakdown of this gun, like the field stripping, one negative that does kind of get on my nerves, and it's not a big one. It's definitely not nothing that's like a deal breaker. With like I said, the little internal lever that you have to flip down to break down. I'm not a fan of because it adds an extra step. Now, I know there's a little trick, like you can, apparently you can flip down the takedown lever and dry fire it, and it'll push that lever forward, and you can just slide right off. But I tend to go with what the factory recommends. So like the factory recommends to use something to push the lever down, so that's what I do. And like I said, it's not bad. I mean, it just adds another step to your breakdown process. So like I said, it's more of a nuisance than a deal breaker. Okay, one drawback that I do see with this as compared to my other guns is the capacity. Now it's a single stack, so I mean you're going to get less capacity, but you're going to have also a much thinner gun, which is you get trade-offs in that respect. But the capacity, like I said, is either 6+1 or 7+1 out of the box, depending on what magazine you use. Like my Glock 27 is a 9+1. It's a double stack though. My P365 is a 10+1. But like I said, the reason why I'd kind of slacked off in carrying this is not that it's a bad gun. Absolutely not. It's just I get more shots with my other gun, and with flush fit magazines. Yeah, like I said, it's not a deal breaker, and that's not speaking anything ill against this gun. It's just like I said, if I have other guns that I can have more shots in, I'm most likely going to carry those. Okay, my final gripe about this was just a couple of malfunctions that I had early on, and this is going into the malfunction section too. There were several times when I would put the magazine in and rack the slide, I pulled the trigger and I heard a click, and I was like, what the heck? So I ejected the mag and I popped the round out, and it was like a light primer strike, but I had found out the problem is when I seated the last round in the magazine, it wasn't seated all the way back, so it couldn't scoop it in and chamber it properly. That was really more my fault, but like the loading the magazine seemed to be a little bit more temperamental for me in the beginning than some of my other guns. But once I found out what I was doing wrong, I cleared it up and it was fine. But like I said, that's the only really malfunctions I've had with this. There really hadn't been any serious malfunctions like failure feeds or anything like that. But like I said, just those early hiccups, and that was the only time I've had any trouble out of it. I will say this, going back to some of the more negative aspects of, for me at least. For whatever reason, I am not as accurate with this gun as I am with any other gun. It's not to the point where I would feel unsafe carrying it. I just pull my shots slightly to the left and down. I'm not inaccurate with this, but I'm not as accurate as I am with my other pistols. And I don't know if it's if the sights need to be adjusted, or if it's just the way I'm holding it, or what. It could be me, because I know I've known of many people who are very accurate with this gun. So it might just be me, but for whatever reason, I am not quite as accurate with this gun. Like I said, I'm not inaccurate to the point where I don't want to carry it. Like, it's still a great gun, and I'm still accurate enough to where I can get the job done if I need to, if something happens. So, but yeah, just to speak on the accuracy a little bit is like I said, this goes to another reason why I don't carry this as often, is because I'm not quite as accurate. One thing I didn't mention earlier is the fact that this particular model does have a actual thumb safety on it. I don't use it because I'm not used to using thumb safeties. You can use it if you want to. If not, you can carry chambered, and it's without the safety on it. It's fine. Like if a thumb safety is a definite must for you, then this might be a very good option for you. Like I said, Glocks don't have thumb safeties. The particular model of P365 I have does not have a thumb safety. But if that's a deal breaker for you, like if you need a thumb safety, this is going to be your piece. Okay, final thoughts on the M&P Shield by Smith & Wesson. Overall, like I said, it's a nice little carry gun. The slides not too bad to rack. It's really not. Like I said, the trigger, I love the trigger because it's such a smooth, like almost no resistance until you hit that wall, and it's a very defined wall, and then a nice click. And a good reset. I mean, it's all in all, I don't regret buying it. And if you're thinking about buying one, I would recommend it. Just the reliability. It's like I said, like most polymer guns, it's a very simple gun to master. It really is. And like I said, I'm not as accurate with it, but you could be more accurate than me. But yeah, I don't regret buying it, and I would recommend it to anyone who would want a nice carry gun and who actually needs a manual thumb safety. But yeah, if I had to give it an overall grade, I would say it's a solid B, you know. If you like Smith & Wesson, you're not going to go wrong with this if you want a nice little carry piece. And it's nice and thin, so like I said, you can carry it pretty much any position and just forget it's there like immediately. Good gun. Go get one. Thank you again for watching. I hope to do one of these, hopefully once a week. I don't know. Whenever I get around to it, I'm pretty lazy. But yeah, hopefully I'll have more gun reviews for you coming down the pipe. Give me a like or a dislike, or tell me if you agree with my assessment of the M&P Shield. Just let me know what you think. But yeah, until next time, keep on loving freedom, guys. And I'll see you next time.